don't know if I can hear you well because
Hey, we're live. Can you hear me?
I can.
Hey, well, good Saturday morning to you.
Happy Saturday, guys.
We're Two Lawyers Talk Legacy. I'm Lisa Kay, joined with the lovely Sandy B. And we're here to talk a little bit about the Young Thug trial that's going on in Atlanta. Very interesting stuff that's going on. It's been happening for a while, but finally the trial is underway. And this RICO action, it's a lot to break down here, Miss Sandy B. Law. A lot to break down. So I think we're going to start by sharing kind of a little bit of the background. Let me see if I can get this entire article up. Wow. So what's going on that let me see, Sandy B. Sandy B normally handles this part. Are you with me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, can you see this article and can I make this bigger?
Yeah, we need to zoom in a little bit because my little eyes are not going to work for
Eh,
that.
it's not going to work for that. So essentially then what I have to do is go and try to boost that up a little bit bigger. So let me try to do that.
So while Lisa's getting this little window bigger, just remind you guys, we just hit the 500 mark. Actually, I think it's about 510 right now.
That's a good
So
thing.
we continue to encourage you and thank you for subscribing to the channel and making sure that you keep connected with all the things that we have going on here and the conversations that we're having here on Two Lawyers Talk Legacy. So please continue to click like, click share, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell to make sure that you're aware when we go live. And as you can tell at this point in time, we are going live at a random rate, which is a really good thing because then we can tap into some of our different subscribers and the folks that like to catch the replays of our videos. So, all right, let's get right into it. I think my eyes can adjust to this, Miss Lisa. If you can close the
Okay.
window a little bit, it might make it a little bigger too,
Let's
like the left
see.
to right version. Yeah, so that it makes it a little bigger. All right,
Right
so
here. Wait.
yeah, not too much,
It's,
a little bit more open. All right,
okay.
so let's get into this article here
Something just
and see
happened.
what they say about the Young Thug and the YSL RICO case. Now, for those of you that have been keeping up with a lot of these trials that are going on, we know that the Gunna trial happened um, some time ago, which is one of the folks that was affiliated with all of this YSL RICO situation. And so when it comes to this Young Thug piece, they definitely have a lot of things that they're trying to address in this piece of the case. So today we're going to kind of do a little chop up of some of the details of what's going on currently, and trying to give you a better understanding of what's happening in the case. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind with these cases, as we're seeing, for example, the Diddy case, the Kiki Palmer case, this Young Thug case. All of these cases have a different type of background when it comes to the law. And some of the things that are happening in these cases are very different because of the type of law involved. So, as an example, when we're talking about the Diddy case, these are civil cases. They are not criminal cases. So, no, he's not going to go to jail. He's not going to serve time. They're not going to put him away. Those cases are civil cases. They are cases between one person and another person. Whereas the Kiki Palmer case is also civil. She filed for a restraining order, and basically there was a hearing that was going to happen, which I'm hearing some rumors that that hearing is not going to happen and may be pushed back because they're trying to kind of work things out privately. But when it comes to this Young Thug case, we are talking about a criminal case, which is a whole different ball when it comes to the law. And in criminal cases, we are concerned about whether somebody is going to be put away, right? So in a civil case, what you're looking for is money and liability or accountability. In a criminal case, you have basically the state or the government going against an individual because they've committed a crime against society. Did I cover that right, Lisa? You know, I haven't done
Oh,
any criminal work.
that was beautiful, my sister. That was very beautiful the way you just covered that.
All right,
Yes,
so
you did.
let's chop this up here, and you tell me, Lisa, when we can get some criminal insight, because I know that you have at least a bit of a criminal background, where I have probably a pencil thin background in that realm. um,
Yeah, I definitely have some. So this RICO action is a conspiracy type charge, which means that if there are five different things that you must do to complete a crime, it all the pieces doesn't have to be done by one person under a conspiracy. One person could commit one part, another person could commit the other next part of the crime, and you put it all together and you have this big crime, which is known as a conspiracy. So this rapper essentially is a Grammy winning rapper, mind you, is accused of leading a street gang that had been known for committing a slew of violent crimes and even a murder in Atlanta over the past 10 years. So the trial finally opened up on this past Monday. They had like 10 months of jury selection. And this particular individual, Grammy nominated Young Thug, was supposedly the head, known as, I think, Slime Life, Young Slime Life. That's what the YSL stands for. So that's the acronym for the Thugs, Young Thugs label, YSL, which is Young Slime Life. So yeah, that there was a gang that was acting under, pretty much under, that operation that he had going on with his record label. That's the allegation.
and so basically, the district attorney says that YSL operated as a pack, and she said Young Thug was, in quotations, King Slime. His home was allegedly filled with drugs and guns, and gang members would reach out for permission to kill and to provide him with stolen items, according to the district attorney. And she also said they created a crater in the middle of Fulton County's Cleveland Avenue community that sucked in the youth, the innocence, and even the lives of some of the youngest members
Wow.
in the community. So, again, when we're talking about these charges, notice that we're focused on the community and the crimes against the community. So,
Yes.
Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, is one of the music industry's most innovative and influential hip hop artists. He's pushing not just musical boundaries, but often cultural ones, including in his decision to wear a purple dress for the cover of his 2016 album called Jeffrey.
That's different.
Well, you know, this age is pushing all factors of the envelopes. They done got rid of the envelope at this point. Ain't no envelope.
And he goes on to say he was charged last year along with more than 2 dozen other people under the state's Racketeer Influenced and Corruption or Corrupt Organizations Act, also known as RICO.
Look,
And so
Rico.
Fonnie Willis is at the head of this. Here she go again.
Hey, but Rico rhymes with Rigo. We got Rigoberto in the building on this
Hey,
Saturday.
Rigoberto. Unlike Rico. Hey,
Ah,
Rigoberto.
gotta love it. Gotta love it.
But
So,
yes, our
let's
girl
see what
Fonnie Willis
happened
is
in
here.
this trial. I'm gonna skip around a little bit. So he was charged last year alongside more than 2 dozen other people under the state's Expansive Act, right? And so if I go down to the next thing, it says several defendants took plea deals last December, including rapper Gunna. So his situation wrapped up because, hey, it was like, look, I'm trying to get out of this mix. I'm not trying to be with the rest of y'all. Rigo
Hmm.
says, hey, that's my distant cousin.
Not Rico.
So several took plea deals, and for those that don't understand what a plea deal is, Lisa, can you kind of give us a little breakdown of that? Like, what exactly is a plea deal?
That's when you just go ahead and break down and give in to the charges because you say, look, I don't want to go to jail for 25 Christmases. How about just three? How about just be away 3 years instead of 25. You basically rolling over and accepting what the state has said that you have done that constitutes a criminal offense. A plea bargain a lot of times will net you probably less jail time than you might have been exposed to had you gone to trial.
Okay.
You can be more assured of your sentence as opposed to throwing the die and waiting for the judge to tell you how long you're going to be gone. Your lawyer is shaping that deal for you in a plea bargain arrangement, so you kind of know what you're dealing with even before you stand up there and plead.
Now, do you have to say that you're guilty in order to do a plea deal generally?
Generally, yes, you have to plead guilty, especially in felony cases. They don't play that no contest. No contest means I admit the facts, but not necessarily the circumstances. So, on a no contest plea, potentially someone could be found not guilty. It almost never happens, but you're saying I admit the facts. And if the facts don't constitute a criminal offense, then you would expect that a judge would still say not guilty on a no contest plea. But more times than not, the alleged facts do constitute an offense.
Okay, so I have not guilty, I have no contest. Isn't there something else? I feel like I remember there being something else.
And guilty.
So guilty, not guilty, no contest. Okay.
Those are your three standard pleas in criminal cases.
All right, so we got some folks that took these plea deals in December, including the rapper Gunner, while others were severed from the case. Young Thug is among six defendants who have pleaded not guilty to all charges and are standing trial in an Atlanta courtroom. So Young Thug is like, look, I'm about to, I'm gonna go through this whole process. We're not about to plead guilty when, I have a reason to fight this, I guess. Young Thug's defense attorney, Brian Steele, has said the rapper is innocent of all counts and has previously told CNN he's committed no crime whatsoever. Now, the prosecution's opening statements mark the start of what's expected to be a months-long trial that will be a test of the state's expansive RICO law.
The same thing Donald Trump is charged with right now under the same statute.
And I don't like the fact that they say their RICO law is expansive. That means that they've stretched the bounds and said, look, we're going to cover a lot of different ground with one law.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Oh, yeah, because basically they're making Young Thug responsible for what other gang members have done, basically saying that the other gang members have been acting under his leadership. So
in essence, those folks that took these pleas and all the folks that were separated from the case, I could imagine that some of them would have turned against him, and so putting it on him.
That's usually one of the conditions for the prosecutor to give a plea deal is that you will be willing to testify against your other co-defendants. That's usually a part of it. So if Gunna doesn't have to do that, I would say good for him, because in the communities, nobody out there on the streets like to look like snitches, right?
Right.
You hear that. Nobody likes to look like that. So it can be a bad thing. And some people get retaliated against for taking stances like that in court.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately.
Well, we have Tam Rill tuning in. She's driving, but
Hey,
she's
Tam
listening.
Rill.
Good afternoon, Tam. She said not familiar with this case. So, this case
how
is
fair is that? That's what I want to know from you, Sandy. How fair is that to blame him for all? If you have a bunch of thugs out there doing criminal acts, and let's say they're under your label, and your label promotes kind of that gang image, and kind of and things start happening, should you be held responsible? I mean, that's what's happening here. They're making him responsible for the acts of other folks too.
Well, one of the big problems is, and we talk about this all the time, Lisa, your affiliations matter. And so if you and I are affiliated with one another and you're running this coordinated operation, and I'm conspiring with you, or I'm affiliated with you and therefore seen as a conspirator, a conspirator, right? If you say, hey, I'm not involved, it wasn't me, and you end up getting off because you blame it on me, it is what it is, unfortunately. And I'm not saying that's what happened in this case, but this is one of those cases where there likely was a series of crimes committed. There likely were a series of people that were all affiliated with one another at one point in time. And whether they all were involved at every step, there was some way that the government was able to link each of these individuals to these series of crimes. And that's just what it became. And so now, yeah, all of these other people who pled, guilty or got off in some way, or struck some kind of deal, they may be out of the mix, but now you're the last one standing, and it's either you're going to plead as well, you're going to plead to the case, or you're going to stand trial, and that's unfortunately where we are. So now the government, of course, is going to have to prove every element beyond the reasonable doubt. Am I correct in saying that?
Oh yeah, every element beyond. That's the highest legal standard you have in court cases to prove it. Now this guy's been locked up. I didn't know that he's been locked up since his arrest last year.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I thought some of them were out. I know the Gunner one was out because of the December situation. He went through a whole episode, but then he was out, and the assumption is he copped a plea. So, um, but Tam, basically, there were a series of crimes that were committed over a period of time, and this group of individuals that fell under this record label YSL was also affiliated with what this is what the government is saying, they're affiliated with some kind of a gang, and all
Hmm.
of their activities basically amounted to a series of crimes, and those crimes were able to be classified under the government's RICO Act, and that's the RICO Act of the state of Georgia. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so the state of Georgia has an expansive law that covers probably a lot of different things. And once they could tie a series of people together, they were able to lay down those charges. And they had a whole bunch of people that were charged in this case, I remember initially starting out.
Very interesting. And this right here, the blurb, it shows Love's opening statement honed in on it's one of the lawyers on the allegation the defendants acted in ways that showed allegiance to the gang, often openly promoting and posting about the alleged gang's activity, and were a part of an unspoken agreement to participate in illegal activities stretching back a decade as part of the group. And this is
Okay,
where it's going to get a little gray at the
so they've
unspoken
been going at it for
agreement.
about a year. I'm sorry, about 10 years.
Yeah, for 10 years they've been watching this group. And so they're looking at all these activities now and racking them back up to Young Thug, saying this is all up under your leadership. It's kind of like the head of this thing.
Well, my favorite part is this part right here, because this is where the musical industry and criminal activity come to cross, because when you start to utilize your music to talk about things that you're actually doing allegedly, that's where you have some big problems. So her remarks included graphic photos of dead men who were allegedly killed by YSL members, as well as a number of rap lyrics from the defendant that Love said bore a very eerie significance to crimes that were committed in real life. So basically, they had rap lyrics that were describing crimes that had actually happened, and they sounded so similar that it was just like, okay, you must have been involved for you to know these very details.
Right. So like I said, this is gonna be very interesting. Like, is this a stretch? Or can you really say this is all related? Can it be a coincidence that some of the lyrics just happen to sound like some of the real crimes that happened?
Well, don't a lot of rappers over the years haven't they said that they rap about what they live and they experience? Tam says, I love it. Tam says, so these people have been rapping about their activities. Yep, these fools probably thought to themselves, "Hey, let me just talk about the things that I'm actually doing."
Can you
Allegedly,
imagine? Can you imagine? I took him out, the one with the blue and green shirt on in the corner with the hat on, and you
allegedly.
describe everything allegedly. Come on now.
And the little notation here says some lyrics will be allowed in YSL RICO case. Judge rules. Why critics have called that a
Oh,
double standard. Interesting. It says the
whoa.
evidence will show that these defendants, that the members and associates of YSL, they knew who their leader was, and they knew the repercussions of not obeying their leader. It
Hmm.
says you will hear evidence that when members and associates of YSL got in trouble, got locked up, the first person they called was either Young Thug or one of his family
What?
members.
Wait. I got a problem with that. Because the only reason they calling Young Thug at that point is because they need bail money. Okay? So that to me does not mean that we got to go talk to our gang leader. It just means I need bail, buddy. Help.
Rigo says, also remember that the Mexican cartel used songs back in the day to describe their criminal activities, and then you had to decipher some people did, some people cost up their lives. Tam says, what has happened with common sense and discernment? Those went right out the door with about everything else. They threw out the envelope, they threw out the packaging, they threw out anything that involves concealment.
Oh, my.
Everything is just in your face. Um, but this is going to be an interesting trial
It
to watch
is.
play out. I haven't really caught any of this. I caught a little bit about the Gunna trial, a little bit. Um, some of the robberies that were included in their activities: robbery, hijacking, motor vehicle theft, possession of a machine gun, and red rum.
Murder.
I can't say that
Oh,
word.
you
Red
can't say
rum.
that word. Red
I
rum.
can't
Yeah.
say that word. I'm going
Can't
to
say
say it
that word.
backwards. Red rum.
Red rum.
Um,
Okay.
the state is alleging that these defendants, they had an agreement, unspoken, but no less an agreement, to obtain property, things of value, cell phones, cars, stolen guns, through a pattern of illegal activity. And alleged members of the YSL Street Gang are also accused of shooting at the tour bus of rapper Lil Wayne while he was performing in
Wow.
Atlanta in April of 2015. Oh, shoot.
Whoa.
Wow. Bullets for nothing except to show their dominance. That act was intended to show their solidarity, their willingness to act on behalf of, their willingness to exact violence upon anyone who threatened the position of the criminal street gang called itself Young Slime Life.
That name right there alone,
I
that
think
that
I'm done with
term.
that. That's some straight up,
I
what in
don't
the
want to
world?
be involved with young slime, nothing, right? But and then not to mention, we talked about red rum. There's other defendants accused of is the killing of someone named Donovan Thomas, an alleged member of a rival gang, gunned down in 2015. In court documents, prosecutors allege Young Thug rented the car that was used by the YSL members in the killing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. No less than 50 shootings occurred over the course of the next several months after that red rum. And adding some of those were retaliatory shootings. You'll hear evidence of hundreds of bullets that were fired into cars, into homes, into people as a result of the rift between Young Slime Life that he had with other members of people in the community. Oh, there is a
Oh,
gang
they got some
associate.
witnesses.
Did
Oh,
you see
snap.
that? Go ahead with that one.
A YSL gang associate is expected to testify that Young Thug paid them money after the killing to go to Miami and lay low in the wake of Donovan Thomas's Red Rum. Wow. Among the rap lyrics Love read aloud in court were the words hundreds, 100 rounds in a Tahoe from a song Young Thug released. Thomas was in a Tahoe when he was gunned down, Love said.
What a
And
coincidence. Oh my.
through the music that he has been blessed with, the opportunity to be able to release and gain wealth from, through the music, through the blessing, the evidence will show that Jeffrey Williams, also known as YSL, or Young Thug, I'm sorry, led a group of people that wreaked utter havoc on Fulton County. So Fulton County ain't having it. Fulton County is like, we're gonna take all the y'all down.
Fonnie
This Rico
Willis said, "Oh no." Fonnie Willis said, "Look, I will take number 45 out. You know I will take you out. Okay?"
all gone. So it sounds like this is going to be a lengthy one. I would love for us to probably have some time when we get a chance to catch some aspects of the trial and kind of chop up those segments a little bit to talk about what they're addressing, why they're addressing certain things, why they're not addressing other things, what types of objections are going to be had, what types of witnesses they're going to have in this type of case. Um, so this is going to be a really interesting one. If you haven't seen some of these details, Lisa, we'll drop this link of this article in
Did
our.
you know his song? Wait a second. You mean that one song with Camila Cabello? That's his song?
Let me see. Young Thug's tracks have landed him at the top of the charts. He's collaborated with artists including Camila Cabello and Havana, Travis Scott, and Drake. He won the Grammy for Song of the Year in 2019, co-writing the hit track "This Is America" along with Childish Gambino. Oh shoot, I didn't know he was on that. The 32-year old. I thought they were gonna say this man was like 19, 20. 32-year-old rapper was initially charged and arrested in May 2022 for conspiring to violate the RICO statute and participating in a criminal street gang activity. That is crazy. That means he's been going at this since his 20s.
Right. So that means, yeah, since man,
And they
almost,
added additional counts in 2022. Dang. The additional charges stem from a search warrant executed by authorities at the home he was staying in, where drugs and firearms were allegedly found. Oh, snap. They done snatched up everything. He's been behind
wow.
bars since his arrest last year and released his latest album, Business is Business, from jail over the summer. I thought he was going to say
Okay.
standing on business.
You know, entrepreneurs will be entrepreneurs wherever they land, Sandy. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
well, that money is not going to be going to anything but his little tab at the commissary. So I don't know. I don't know. I'll
Well,
live a
we're
nice
gonna
life behind bars. That's not going to
we'll
sound
stop
fun.
we'll stop sharing that one. But as you can see, there's some stuff here.
Yeah, there's a lot of craziness going on. So, guys, you got to pay attention to some of these things happening because some of these may happen in our communities. Tam says 32 and calls himself Young Thug. There goes the problem.
Therein lies the problem.
There goes the problem. But yeah, guys, when these cases are going on, you definitely should take a look at them. A lot of times these are things that can happen in any of our communities, and it's really good to be aware of what's happening out here, especially for our young kids, those of you who have children, those of you who are aunties and uncles and grandparents. It's good for you to be connected to some of these activities so that you could know what is really happening in our streets every single day. This is crazy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me just share one thing, which I think is very interesting. I was a prosecutor in the past, right?
I remember.
Right. So this, hold on for a second. Let me see if I got this right. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I may not be able to do this, but I wanted to see if I could share a little bit about, that whole courtroom scene. It's so interesting. Just a little piece. How long have you worked Zone 3 in Atlanta at the Atlanta Police Department?
Opening up fully. My eyes are bad.
Okay.
2022, so a little over a year.
Is this the only time that you have worked in Zone 3?
No, I've done a lot of work in Zone 3. This is the first time I've been assigned directly to specifically Zone 3, but I've done a lot of work in Zone 3 throughout my career.
Let's go in a little bit more.
Now, what within that reporting system have been put in by you at the time or near the time that this incident occurred?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state tenders.
Is that him over there?
As recollection reported.
I'm trying to look. I can't.
You can't see it. Oh wait. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying. Okay.
Honestly, I don't even know what he looks like. I'll have to look at a picture.
Overrule that objection, but I don't think you laid all the foundation for it to be past recollection.
I think that's him over there on the right.
Show him
Yeah.
document. That was what I was trying.
But you look at this. I mean, this is gonna be going on for a month, right?
Like a grown man. Young Thug should be. He had braids last I checked. How does he not have braids now? Let me
I
see
think
his-
that's one of his co-defendants. If I'm not mistaken, there's 6 co-defendants.
Oh, okay, so these are some of the other guys because that's not him over there.
Said that it's only admissible as to Mr. Stillwell. So a limiting instruction.
We got a black judge. Hey.
To state that it's only admissible as to the consideration for him. So I need to have an appropriate limiting instruction to give them.
All right.
That's him right there, I think.
That's him, right?
I think so, yeah, because he has that tats on his face and stuff. Yep, that's him.
Oh, wait a minute though. That's him.
Whenever the court permits that.
That's
Why do they all
him.
look alike?
No, I think honestly that is him because I
I don't
remember
think
the
this one is
tats.
him. I think it's the other guy.
No, I really do.
Oh wait, let me see the tattoo on the side of the face. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that is him. Dang, he cleaned up a little bit.
Well, yeah, he's been out of circulation. Wait, they do look alike though, but
Yeah, that's definitely not him. The other guy
that's
is
not
him because he has a
okay.
tattoo on his cheek.
Right. And just because they have the same
He forgot
tattoos
the
or where
piercings. I don't see any piercings on his lip.
wait, do you think those symbols on the face like are they the same?
Look, if I'm your attorney, you covering up them symbols. we're
Wait,
not giving
wait.
we're not giving the jury a chance.
Are we wearing blush for the trial?
Child, we wearing full makeup. Tam says those are facts. This worshiping of these monsters is getting out of hand. And she said nothing about any of them look hard. It's really crazy because when you think about your childhood and the experiences that you've had, and I look at the children today and the experiences that they're having, the mode, the thought processes, the desires, the expectations, the ambitions, they're different extremely different. So anyway,
Yeah,
I
they're
ain't
gonna
gonna
put
stay on this
they're gonna put him
soapbox.
away. They will put him if he gets convicted. They are going to put him away for the last 10 years of mega crime in Fulton County. They're gonna blame. I mean, he's gonna get pent with all of that. Watch
We shall see.
if they get him. If they get him,
We shall see. Depends on how good that defense attorney is. Their thoughts have aged them. Yep, they do look older. I would have thought that they were young when I was thinking about their lifestyle has aged them. I don't know, guys. We will probably do a look at this, maybe take some segments of the trial and talk a little bit about it, especially if he testifies. We'll definitely try to see if we can circle back on that. And we
but
definitely
you
need.
should know he doesn't have to testify. He has no obligation whatsoever, as you know, to testify
I have
against
a strong
himself.
feeling in this case he probably will.
You think he will testify?
I feel like it. I feel like it. Sometimes I have some gut feelings about these types of cases, and what better way to clear you than to make yourself sound good? And you just need that one or two jurors that believes that you
Will
are a
hold out
good-hearted
for you.
person.
Yeah. And that
All
you're
you need is one or
kind
two.
and you is wonderful. And how do you say it? You is
Use
wonderful.
kind, use smart, you is important.
All
All right, y'all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode brought to you by Learn Biz, the podcast. We are two lawyers talk legacy, and we are definitely going to see what legacy Young Thug leaves. He's over there dropping albums while he's behind bars. I'm like, dang, talk about working.
wow.
Talk about
We,
working.
y'all have a great rest of your day.
All right, guys, enjoy.
Enjoy.
Stay tuned. Click like, click subscribe, click share. Please click the notification bell. Check us out next time on Learn Biz, the podcast. We are two lawyers talk legacy. Have a good one.
Boom.